Remember all those wacky commercials during the Super Bowl? The ones promoting Temu, the online store selling everything for dirt cheap? Well, Temu's become the latest online trend, with influencers and YouTubers jumping on board to buy and show off these ridiculously low-priced products. While Temu might seem like a shopper's paradise, there's more to the story. Temu is basically the wild cousin of familiar discount sites like Alibaba and Wish. Their slogan, "Shop like a billionaire," isn't exactly wrong. You can find knockoffs of luxury items for a couple of bucks. It's not just clothes either. Temu sells electronics, kids stuff, home goods, basically anything you can imagine, and even some things you can't. They even throw in a bunch of weird gifts nobody asked for. Now, before you rush off to Temu and fill your cart with 80 random items for $15, let's dig a little deeper. Here's why Temu might not be the shopping dream it seems. So what's behind this Temu craze? Temu actually launched in the US just in 2022 by a Chinese company called PDD Holdings Inc., based in Shanghai. They wasted no time, launching in Canada a few months later with a flashy Super Bowl ad, then hitting Australia, New Zealand, and Europe within just 2 more months. That's right, Temu went from unknown to global phenomenon in a mere 6 months. By the end of 2022, their app was the most downloaded free app in the US. How'd they pull this off so fast? Well, PDD Holdings isn't exactly new to the discount game. They already launched a similar platform in China called Pinduoduo, which served as the blueprint for Temu's success. Temu's prices are so low, they make Amazon look like a luxury store. And that's by design. Temu isn't even really competing in the same space. Shopping there is a whole different experience, and we'll explore why next. The Temu website hits you with a barrage of deals. Lightning sales ending today, electronics marked down 90%, home goods for a measly 20 cents. It's a constant high-pressure tactic designed to create a sense of urgency. Every product seems to have a timer counting down or a notification showing someone just bought it. It's all meant to make you feel like you'll miss out on a steal if you don't snag it right away. Temu leverages classic gamification techniques to keep you hooked. They tap into that treasure hunt feeling you get when you score a great deal, triggering the reward system in your brain. Suddenly, getting 80 items for $200 sounds like an amazing feat, even if you don't actually need most of that stuff. This strategy keeps people coming back for more, chasing that next exciting discount. It's no wonder Temu seems to be everywhere. Their aggressive advertising and sponsorships are another key ingredient in their recipe for rapid growth. Aggressive advertising isn't Temu's only tactic for growth, by the way. They've been known to bombard YouTubers and creators with emails, even resorting to finding new addresses to keep pushing their offers after being blocked. Despite these aggressive tactics, many influencers are happy to partner with Temu, which explains why Temu ads and sponsored content seem to be everywhere online. But let's hold off on the influencer angle for a moment. The core of Temu's appeal lies in its rock-bottom prices. However, any business built solely on being the cheapest option deserves a closer look. When something seems too good to be true, it often is. The reality is, if you're getting an incredible deal, someone else along the way probably isn't. Which is why Temu's business model creates problems for nearly everyone involved. Temu operates similarly to Amazon, with manufacturers listing their products directly for consumers. Supposedly, this cuts out the middleman and keeps prices low. But what is the real cost of those crazy low Temu prices? Well, here's the truth. Consumers are ending up with shoddy products, vendors are being exploited, and manufacturers are facing unethical treatment. Even the environment suffers from this race to the bottom. The red flags are clear. There's no way an e-commerce site can offer such insanely low prices without some shady practices. So, how exactly does Temu achieve these rock-bottom costs? When influencers promote Temu, they often brush off questions about the pricing by claiming it's simply the warehouse price with no retail markup. That explanation is simply untrue. Temu is strategically losing money on orders in a calculated move to become the go-to marketplace for cheap, disposable products. And Temu's aggressive price cuts mean they're literally losing an average of $30 per order. Simple math tells us someone isn't being fairly compensated for their labor. And guess what? Our suspicions are confirmed. Temu pressures manufacturers to sell products at rock-bottom prices. Reports from anonymous sellers reveal they're essentially making no money, just hoping to break into the US market. Selling at a loss isn't a new business strategy, especially for startups. The problem here is the sheer extremity of Temu's approach. Perhaps the most frustrating aspect of Temu's popularity is the sheer disposability and low quality of the products. Ideally, people would recognize you get what you pay for, but that doesn't seem to be the case. A recent Wired article exposed how Temu steals product photos, descriptions, and even safety certifications from Amazon sellers, then lists them as their own. They don't even try to hide it. The certifications still have the seller's address. Temu knows legal action would be a lengthy, expensive hassle for a small seller, allowing them to steal entire storefronts with impunity. The idea here is that some people would rather be seen with a fake Gucci bag than no bag at all. To be clear, we understand the need for affordable items, but the vast majority of Temu shoppers aren't buying necessities. They're buying low-quality junk they don't even need, simply because it feels good in the moment. While the list of Temu's questionable practices is extensive, let's summarize a few key points. First, the company isn't accredited by the Better Business Bureau, raising red flags about customer service. Second, reports show frequent issues with late or missing orders. Third, there's strong evidence that Temu sells user data on the black market. This isn't just speculation. Temu's sister app Pinduoduo was removed from the Google Play Store for data risks, and Temu itself faced a temporary suspension from the Apple Store for violating privacy rules. If you want, let's take a look at Temu's privacy policy. As you can see, the amount of data Temu collects is extensive, and it goes far beyond what you might expect for a simple shopping platform. Here's a breakdown of what Temu collects according to their privacy policy. Personal information. This includes your contact details, name, address, phone number, email, location information, and even sensitive data like your social security number, tax ID number, and driver's license. They also collect your profile picture and birth date. Marketing preferences. Temu tracks your preferences to target you with specific advertising. Payment information. This includes your credit card details and any other payment methods you use. Your device data. Temu can see what internet network you're connected to, along with details about your device's performance, browser type, and CPU usage. Your online activity. Temu tracks your browsing history outside of their platform, including the websites you visit, how long you spend on them, and whether you open or click on any emails they send you. Note that this is a pitfall, not a scam, as Temu does plainly state what kind of data it is collecting in its privacy policy. But does that make it ethical? The problems extend beyond consumer concerns. Temu has reportedly found ways to avoid import tariffs, putting them at an unfair advantage and harming local North American businesses that can't compete with such low prices. Even more troubling are links between Temu and the oppression of the Uyghur people in China. Both Shine and Temu have been accused by a House committee of using forced labor from the autonomous region of Xinjiang in China. According to the U.S. State Department, 12 million Uyghurs, Turkic-speaking Muslims, live in Xinjiang and are native to the region. If you can imagine a company embodying every shady business practice from a dystopian sci-fi film, well, Temu might just be it. Let's shift our focus and talk about the future, though. While some might argue that low prices aren't inherently bad and that Temu's strategy is simply a way to gain market share, there's a bigger picture to consider. These artificially low prices set unrealistic expectations for consumers. When someone gets used to buying 5 pairs of smiley face slippers for $7, they start to expect that kind of bargain everywhere. The artificially low prices create a ripple effect beyond just consumer expectations. When forced labor, environmental damage, and overflowing landfills become the norm to meet these bargain demands, it paints a concerning picture. Temu's success reflects a troubling trend, a society driven by a near-dystopian level of consumerism. We expect instant gratification at the lowest possible cost, willing to overlook logic and reason in the process. With companies like Temu, best deal translates to spending less than the product's production cost, a recipe for disaster on all fronts. These corporations, locked in a desperate race to the top, or rather the bottom, resort to increasingly reckless tactics to stay competitive, with no regard for the consequences. Consumers, conditioned by this race to the bottom, now expect similar bargains everywhere. This feeds directly into the dupe culture Temu thrives on, further squeezing out opportunities for genuine creators and small businesses. Not only can they not compete with Temu's prices, but their original products are often blatantly copied. For now, Temu operates in a near-perfect world, no regulations and no real opposition. At this rate, they could become a global giant. This leaves established companies like Amazon facing a stark choice: adapt or die. Either they copy Temu's brutal exploitation of workers and ruthless cost-cutting measures, or they risk being buried by a competitor with an unsustainable advantage.